probably thinking, where are you?
All right. So, welcome to Thursday Safety Brief. So, I'm Senior Master Sergeant Vesper. I'm the Operations Superintendent here at the 316th.
I'm 316th MTL, Master Sergeant Harrison.
All right. So, first off, apologies for the late start this week. We had some technical difficulties, but we hope we have them worked out now. So we only have a couple of things, so hopefully we can jump into your questions here very quickly and see what's on your mind and see what we can knock out for the commander. So there's going to be the biggest thing on my piece right now is the fact that there will be a new mask order and for coming out from the wing that has just been published. So you guys will start to see that probably tomorrow. Biggest change within the mask wear guidance that I was able to see on the quick glance that I took is the fact that for PT, whether you are actively engaged in PT indoors or outdoors, as long as you can maintain your social distancing of 6 feet, you can remove your mask. And that goes for all personnel while they're working out indoors and outdoors. So, right, let's be smart about what we're doing and keep going with it. Right, hopefully this is going to get us another step towards getting towards normal as we continue down that path. As far as the COVID-19 shots and how that's coming along, thank you to those who came out and participated on Tuesday's event. And for those of you who were unable to make it, we'll have more opportunities coming up.
All right, so a few things that we noticed this week with the troop walk. I'm not going to lie, majority of our airmen, we are doing what we need to be doing. The other issues that I am seeing is we have our sister squadrons as well as services. You're right next to them and you notice they're not wearing your mask. Make that correction. Let it be known, okay? It doesn't take a senior NCO or an NCO to make these corrections all across the board. If you guys can't hold each other accountable, they may shut the base down, and that makes it miserable for everybody, okay? So let's not get to that point. Don't let them ruin it for you, okay? So please hold each other accountable. So if I show up out there and I see you're walking right next to somebody, you got your mask on and everything, but the other person doesn't, you're just as guilty, okay? So I'm probably going to drop us all, and we're going to do push-ups, all right? Second, because we are wearing masks now, does not mean you get to neglect shaving, taking out piercings, and all the other stuff. You are still in uniform, okay? So if we ask you to take your mask down, and I notice you're not shaved or you have a piercing in, you're going to be getting paperwork, okay? You know what you need to be doing, so let's make sure you do that. As well as I hope other airmen are helping you out. I understand you forget that you have things in your face, or maybe you forgot to shave. If another airman helps that airman out, then they can be getting them out of paperwork, because if one of the MTLs sees it, they're going to get it. Okay, so let's start following the rules. And I don't want to start phasing people back because they can't follow simple shaving procedures or piercings, okay?
That's it, real quick, right? So I'd say that goes for everything, right? Look out for each other. One example today, the Major and I, the DO and I were walking back to the squadron, and as we're going across, we see a group of 4 service members heading towards the troop walk over by the trailer on that little sidewalk area, that large sidewalk area. 4 of them in 2x2 formation. 3 of the service members had covers on their head. 1 of them did not, which initially created some questions. However, before we could get over to them, they corrected it themselves, right? Somebody pointed out, hey, your cover's not on. What's going on? And it just happened to be in their pocket. They got distracted on their way out, right? It happens. Watch out for each other, right? It shouldn't have to be, right, just like Sergeant Harris was saying, it doesn't have to take somebody from a leadership team coming across and going, hey, what's going on? Why do you guys look messed up? So please, right, police yourselves, watch your mask wear, correct that. That's going to help all of us get to a better spot as we continue through this.
And we do understand that kind of distraction happening. It's happened in many people's careers where they get out and just don't have their cover. But if you notice, it's not a correction. You're not being cruel. You're just letting them know, hey, you need your cover. Oh, okay.
Right. So yeah, just be professional as you correct each other and go through that. What I will say is keep your professionalism. So even if any NCO, senior NCO officer, if you're out of uniform doing something, if something's going on, and they come over to correct you and they look to know you're a service member and they ask for your ID card, they have the authority to get your ID card, right? No, don't give it over for a copy, right, at whatever, right? Don't use it for certain functions. But a ranking member in the service, an NCO, senior NCO officer, can pull your ID card to verify your identity, that you're a service member, and they can retain your ID card to reach out to your command, right? So that is absolutely authorized, and that is something you need to be aware of, right? Chief brought it up, I think it was last week, talking about, right, make sure you're professional with the services people working on the base, right? We're having people outside of uniform and things like that. We know you're service members. We know what's going on, especially on this base, right? Don't be yelling at the Burger King individuals that are really there to help you have a better day. Don't be yelling at the dry cleaning people, right? Be professional in your interactions. Be good humans, please.
And one more thing on the troop walk. So things that we have noticed, while you are in civilian attire in the appropriate phase, you can have one earbud in, okay? But that doesn't mean you can be looking down at your phone and walking and talking, okay? You can be listening to music actively in just one ear. Pick an ear, whichever is your best one. In uniform, no. Now, PT gear, yes, you can only on designated running areas, right? The track or on the flight line. So just because you're in PT gear doesn't mean, I can arm up with both earbuds and start doing it. No. That's only in appropriate running areas, okay?
Designated areas, and they're designated that way because the safety is already verified, right? That you have the ability to do that without, right, impeding traffic, somebody coming up. So please be aware and watch out for those things.
All right, and help others as well. So a lot of this is just helping others at this moment. I've seen too many people that they not making the corrections, just letting it fly. And honestly, you guys got to hold each other accountable, okay? Some of these people you'll be working with, and if this stuff is sliding by, let's say they just don't show up to work, guess who's doing the extra work, okay? So this is part of holding each other accountable for that kind of scenario. You don't want that kind of person working with you or for you at that moment, okay? Besides the bigger issues. Other than that, I have been really impressed with the way you guys have been conducting yourselves lately. We've had a lot of higher ranking individuals coming through and seeing the norms and whatnot, and I haven't seen anything that was way out of whack. So if you notice, your 312th brethren are marching quite a bit lately in large groups and in PT uniforms. So there are some corrective actions going on there. Let's not get there, okay? So keep moving forward in a positive direction. And
they also had their curfew
yes.
pulled back and rolled back. So, all right, watch what's going on, right? Watch out for each other. We know how you can act. We know how you act the vast majority of the time, but make sure you're catching each other. So quick little heads up. So it looks like we're going to have a resilience day coming up. More to follow on the specifics, but expect the 10th to be a resilience day of events to figure that out. So we're working through the specifics of that, but don't be caught off guard. Make sure you're studying, do what you need to do for your classes, and being ready for the ability to work around that.
And it is a 4-day weekend, so once again, look out for each other, okay? It's going to be hot, so make sure you hydrate, and you're looking out for your wingmen, especially if you guys are going out and you're of age and you're indulging in adult beverages.
Yeah, those don't count as hydration, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
Just throwing that out there.
So watch out for each other, okay? Don't get to that point where somebody's going to the hospital because you could have probably stopped it. As well as make sure your wingmen are making it back with you, okay? Let's not leave anybody, male or female, out. There are things that happen at night And we don't want you becoming a statistic in that aspect, okay? So,
I sleep at night, so I don't.
yeah,
Yes,
me too. I'm
there's
like
things that
9
happen at
o'clock.
night.
I'm a boring life now, I guess.
Wow. The peanut gallery here has all kinds of things. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. We know we got started a couple of minutes late, but do you guys have any questions that we can help you with? So I can talk to someone on my phone being close since it only covers 1 ear and I'm not looking down at my phone.
If you're not looking down at your phone, yes, while you are currently walking and paying attention to your surroundings, you can have one earbud in civilian clothes only, okay? It's not like I got PT gear and listen to music, I'm talking to my buddy on the phone.
Correct, but that's with an earbud, right? That's not holding the phone up to your head and doing it, right?
No distractions, earbud, Bluetooth, or whatever they call it.
Correct. Well, I don't know, some of them may be still wired. I don't know what goes on these days. Okay. If I get a religious exemption for COVID, will I be forced to separate, get the vaccine? I wanted to stay in.
We don't have any further guidance.
So the guidance still, right, we talked about this last week. DOD has laid out that we are supposed to have an aggressive timeline that was put out to the services. We do not have a full set timeline here. As the plan works out, we will continue that until the plan is set and we have timelines and we have more of a structured plan. We don't have a reason for an exemption because we're not forcing the actual vaccination as of right this second. So as that plan gets worked out, they will also work out the plan for exemptions and how that's going to work. And then it'll play out as it plays out, right? There will be processes for different exemptions, medical, religious, right, to put in requests for those. They're not always guaranteed. It takes, right, different levels of approval for each one, and they're worked differently. But we will absolutely help route those as it becomes more available and as the plan actually solidifies. So more to follow on that. Wish we had more right now. We do not, being totally honest. It is not there. And as soon as we find out, we'll be on that week, that safety brief, and we'll be talking about it then. And so that will be the next big topic as soon as we can get that.
And Mulder, just so you know, for finance TMO and other out processing locations, usually with a long weekend, sometimes people cut it short. So please get with us in the morning. We will contact them and make sure that these locations are open so you can get your stuff done.
Correct.
Get us early in the morning. The most locations open up at 8, so we'll start at that.
But all of our organizations, right, they have a different commander. So, right, much like when people are going TDY or moving bases, right, things change, the rules change. So each commander has authority over their personnel. Our commander has, right, I'm sure most of you heard, for the students, have authorized, right, an early release for tomorrow. That doesn't mean that TMO, finance, and all that, their hours may vary. They may actually get off earlier than you do. They may get off later, right? It depends on each organization. So can't say which was which. Resiliency Day wouldn't affect Loan Shark, correct? My class graduates next week. So there are some exemptions of classes that are continuing what's going on. And we're working through those. So your instructors in your flight will have a better idea of what's going on. That's the reason I'm just mentioning it's going to be there. We're working through the specific plan of what it's going to look like and who's going to be where during what times. There are always exemptions to the policies that are going on in a case-by-case basis. We are not going to look to change graduation dates based on the Resiliency Day, right? We will work with the classes to come up with the best options for how to ensure we're meeting the training requirements for each course. And
so we are putting out names right now because on September 10th, they are going to be doing a 20-year service memorial for the anniversary of 9/11. So some of you might be tasked to be in formation. Actually, Sergeant Offerman will be leading it. So
is that for the retreat ceremony that's going on?
It will be. Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll be out there, one of your MTLs.
Many of us, I'm sure, will be out there.
We'll be out there, yeah.
Right?
He's got the formation.
Yeah. So many of us will be out there to support the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. Obviously, right, for our students, I'm sure you learned about it, you heard about it. For some of us, right, as we were affected daily by that, right, it definitely changed career paths for our service, where we were going, what we were doing, and so it has had a huge impact. And so to go out and recognize, especially, right, a couple of weeks after we evacuate Afghanistan, it's definitely, right, this is the first one in 20 years that we do not have boots on the ground in Afghanistan. So definitely a memorial. All right. If there are no other questions right now, stand by for the commander and the chief. They're here to answer all your other questions.
Stand by.
No, I got my notes. Now I'm electronic gallery.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Colonel E.J. Mason. I'm the commander of the 316th Sharks.
Hello, I'm Chief Gill. I am the squadron superintendent.
We are here to do our weekly safety brief, go over the information that's important to us and important to you, and make sure that we're all on the same page before we go off to the pending 4-day weekend. Right before I came over here, I got an email from the wing, and it talks about Goodfellow's mask guidance, and specifically about mask guidance during PT. So I'm going to read this to you right quick. This will also go out to everybody in Discord and email. All personnel may remove their masks while actively engaging in physical training exercise only if 6 feet of social distance can be maintained. If 6 feet of social distance cannot be maintained, all personnel must wear a mask even if actively engaged in training exercises. Personnel may keep their mask off to conduct cool down and recovery as well, but must remain in the area of physical activity, stay there where you're working out, and maintain 6 feet of distance. When completed with their activity and a recovery, personnel must wear their mask while transitioning to and from stations and activities. Physical fitness during the pandemic is a top priority of wing leadership, and I encourage everyone to maintain an active and fit, healthy lifestyle. So basically, I think it's the one change is indoor or outdoor physical training. So up to now, you had to wear a mask indoors, regardless of what event you were doing. So a lot of people had a problem with that, trying to do cardio inside. But now it's saying that now you don't have to wear a mask where you're getting it on, as long as you're 6 feet in distance. And then during your cool down, which makes sense too, you can also not wear your mask and then put it back on. So this policy only went to the commanders. So as soon as we're done with this meeting, I'll send it to the exec and to all your flight chiefs, and the MTLs will get it in Slack so everyone can see that. The leadership team brought up the Resiliency Day for 10 September. Now, the reason why we're doing this on 10 September, when you get to your units, if you hadn't noticed this yet, you have annual requirements for training. There's some high interest items, including SAPR and suicide awareness. Thanks, guys, for helping me out with that. Yeah, they have to get covered. We really don't have the options on that. But because of our operational activities and your training schedules, sometimes we just don't get everybody up to date. So successful TTP we've learned is to basically have that down day where we concentrate on all of the mandatory trainings that people need to get done, offer those to our cadre and get those knocked out, and students, you'll have time during training day to get some other stuff done too. So that is just what works for us, and everyone will be complete and ready for the end of the fiscal year, because a lot of attention goes on units who don't have the requirements done come 1 October, which is the Air Force's first day of the year, DoD's first day of the year. I heard the questions go to Senior Vesper about COVID. All right. So, and he's 100% straight up honest with you. This is what we know, right? So for COVID, you saw everyone has seen the DoD mandate. I think we not only sent it out to Squadron 1, it also put in Discord. It basically has the Department's Defense direction saying that the vaccine is mandatory. It doesn't talk about the avenues for the exceptions. It just mentions that there will be, right? So with that, this is the second week in a row, but I talked to you about it in person through the chat. And we also have, again, the DoD MFR. For the resiliency day that we're talking about on the 10th, we'll also bring it up there. So that'll be another opportunity. And then your first line supervisors, including MTLs and flight chiefs, will also talk to you about if you hadn't had the opportunity. The DO has set up a couple of additional engagements with the med group for people to have to either be informed or to get the vaccination. So that's where we're at right now. The whole base is going to have a vaccination pod on the 16th, and it might extend to the 17th of September. So everyone who is not fully vaccinated will have an opportunity then. So that's the kind of progression line. What we don't have is all the off ramps on exceptions for religious accommodations, or what does it mean if you decide that you're not going to take the vaccine. So we will be as transparent as we can with that. As soon as we know, you guys will know. But it won't be just a 316 policy. It'll be directed down from DoD through the Air Force or Space Force, depending on what service you're in, and down to the wing. So it'll be really clear what the progression is. All right. Anything else you want to say on that specifically?
Nope.
Sweet. The safety part of this, right? 4-day weekend coming up. This is the end of summer. And traditionally, if you did not know, the summer is like a super dangerous time for our DoD members as they engage in physical activity outside. So for those going to Lake Cristobal or Cristobal River down there, I'll see you out there. So be careful. For those who are going to the pools, lakes, awesome, wherever you're going to go, be careful. And I will be in the local area checking everybody out. And then the last thing I have is thanks for helping us with the PT rollout. All right, so I only got one safety incident report from the training that we did over the last 10 days. That data is basically going to be a big part of how the Air Force moves ahead with what the real requirements are for the PT test. So that's all I have. Chief, you want to say anything else to the group?
Yeah. Fitch. Okay, sorry, the writing's really small. Will they offer the Pfizer? So yes, the Pfizer is the one that is FDA approved. So that is the one that we will be doing on the mandatory pod dates.
Yep.
So if you are due for a second shot, you didn't go to the pod yesterday, or for some reason you have missed whatever, and you're due for a second shot, you need to get in and get your second shot before the pod operations start, because once that goes, it is like going to be busy. So if you're due for a second shot.
The 16th is first dose only.
Okay. Yes. So the 16th, that big one that will probably be at the gym, is first dose only. So if you are due for a second dose, you need to go to immunizations and get that done.
Yeah. So all these are recommendations, discussions, and then mandates. We haven't got to the part where you've received an order to go do it yet. That's coming. Questions? We didn't have any questions last week.
Wow.
Like two.
Like
was
why?
it? It was like I think it was. It's because you weren't here.
It was because I wasn't here.
Nobody has problem with
No.
orders.
No, actually, I think we're doing really well with orders. I feel like we're doing I feel like we're doing really well with EFMP. If I'm wrong, please chime in and tell me that something is not going right. But overall, I think things are moving the way they're supposed to. So it's good.
Any news about EFMP being down, as in the office, as the local office is down? But
So
that's
the
not
local
changed.
office is down. However, if you're having problems with, yes, Van Duzer was freed, as was Rose. So yes.
Yeah, it was free Van Duzer.
Yeah, if you're talking about the EFMP site being down, I haven't heard anything. However, I'm not in it every day. So if it's down, if you've tried on Chrome or you've tried on other avenues and it's down, then please let us know so we can engage at higher levels.
Let's think about Landon Harris there.
Okay. Okay,
Cool.
Harris, we're working yours. Okay. Lozano, we write down Lozano for
I got
you.
into the website.
Got you,
Oh,
Lozano.
okay. All right. Oh, you got him into the website?
No, I got into the website this morning.
Okay.
They have to be very specific about how they type it in.
Yeah, that is actually very true. With the EFMP website, it is persnickety. If it's supposed to be a capital letter, you have to capitalize it. If it's supposed to be, it's very specific. So,
MTL said they were able to access it this morning. I will go try it this afternoon. How long does it usually take for new assignment to appear if you have filed for a joint spouse?
it depends. That's the real answer. If you are If you're a joint spouse to another Intel person, it's usually fairly quick. If you have orders to 2 separate locations already, it's a pain in the butt because now they have to sometimes they drop both locations and find you a new location. If you are married to somebody who is,
Different service.
yeah, completely different service, completely different
job.
MOS, AFSC, anything, it could take a minute. So, yes, Flippin, I am tracking yours very closely. Cobus, are you only waiting for amendments? You've graduated? So,
Alexia Cobus. She's typing. I feel it.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, Flippin, you're gonna end up going to DGS 100 as well. So just, if nobody's told you that.
Thank you for sending me that article about our airmen and soldiers and sailors and Marines and SASH.
Yeah, the SAF program.
Yeah, I'll start that up to the group. Good job on that.
Yep.
If I were to take my first dose on the
Oh.
16th, could I go ahead and schedule the second dose at Corey Station? I don't think that's guaranteed.
Yeah, I would wait until you get to Corey.
Yeah,
Is that what because it's not, yeah, once the mandate starts, people are gonna there's going to be a grace period for everybody to have it. So you'll be definitely in that grace period at Corey.
so the good part about that
If you
is
wanna
it's
take it,
316
take it.
dead one.
If you want to take it, I would recommend take it. They will offer a shot there also.
CAC hasn't worked at the DFAC for 3 months. How have you been eating?
Right.
3 months. Jake Davis,
That's not.
I've been in command for 2 months. This is the first I heard about it. Let's talk about it. We got Jake's info.
Yeah, he needs to stop.
Hey Jake, have you seen your MTLs?
If you will.
Ermin Harris,
From State Farm.
you will leave, I promise. Let's graduate fully October 12th. Okay, perfect. Cobus, we have plenty of time for you. We will work amendments for sure. So,
Active Marine Guard. From my time at AFPC, I can tell you that joint spouse requirements do not cover ARC members. So Guard and Reserve, you're not guaranteed an assignment for active duty. You're not guaranteed to be joined. And it says it specifically in there. What are specifics on active duty Marine Guard?
there aren't any. Now, I will say if you marry a guard person and you're going to Maryland and they're guard in California, they're going to either have to do their guard time in California, which costs a plane ticket, usually costs hotels sometimes, depending on what kind of orders they're on, or that spouse will have to find
Switch units, yeah.
have to find an opening at a unit in Maryland.
That's pretty common though.
It is
Yeah,
fairly common.
Yeah, they'll help you with that.
Mulder amendments graduating October 1st. Okay. All right.
I didn't think getting food. I just been getting food, but I didn't think it was a problem because I thought it was pointless
To bring it up.
to bring it up. But you want 3 months worth of money back right now.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Because you've been getting food. Okay. All right.
You gonna run this down, Sergeant Harrison, for him? Thank you.
Emma Davis, please go see the MTLs so we can get your stuff fixed. Which brings up a good point. If you're having issues that everyone around you doesn't seem to be having, please go talk to the MTLs. Okay. If your CAT card isn't working, whether it's at the DFAC, in a computer, scanning the D-bids at the gate, anything like that, you need to bring it up with the MTLs.
Well, I am interested in batteries in the doors,
So we do,
locks.
we change them. We have a system that actually flags it if it's low and whatnot, so we can jump ahead of the case. A lot of it was, we'd have to go get it, but now that we have our door manager, she's got more in them to actually get them.
Okay,
So
fair. All right.
shouldn't have any battery issues.
All right, I will tell CE to stand down.
Everything is fixable, y'all. Yes, everything.
Especially in
Be optimistic. Be happy, people.
Yeah, it's
Everything is
fixable.
fixable.
Yeah, fixing your meal card and everybody else's works is doable. Can I have a meal card?
I mean, you can have one, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work,
Ask
but can I
Davis.
check, it
It's not
to
gonna
make
work.
sure?
You can, it's gotta be signed to the shirt,
Yeah.
and you gotta be a rock.
Really? I think I'm gonna start eating at the DFAC every now and then, if y'all have the right deal. You go with me? Okay.
We do a lot of lunch meetings at the DFAC.
But it's on the other side. I want to sit in the mosh pit.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll sit right in the middle.
in the snake pit. Do
Yeah.
they still have a snake pit? All right, I don't know.
They have
They
dessert.
do have
They
dessert.
have
Their
dessert.
cookies are actually pretty good. I don't know. Low
I think
standards.
the Western Winds is better than the Crescent personally.
You think which one's better?
The
Western ones.
Yeah.
I
If
agree.
there is no other questions, if you do, please keep them coming. But meanwhile, I'll give my little weekly spiel here that you guys didn't hear last week because I wasn't here. But if you, like I said, if something around you is happening and you're kind of in this moment where you're like, why isn't it happening to me? Please ask some questions. If your classmates are starting to get assignments and you do not have one, raise the question. Okay, there may be a reason that you don't have one, or there may not be, and we're just waiting for one to load. The faster we can catch those, the easier it is for you as you get closer to graduation. Yeah, nobody said don't jack it up.
Senior wasn't
Aw,
gonna steal
man.
your line.
I got you, boo.
Ain't nobody jacked it up though.
But, well, that's good. So, so about 30 days out, if you don't have an assignment, you need to please raise some questions. 30 days out from graduation. If you are 2 weeks from graduation and you don't have hard copy orders or orders in virtual MPF, please let us know. The sooner you know that we need amendments, the easier it's going to be to get them for you. Making sure all along the way that you are doing everything that you have to do. Okay, every assignment has different requirements of things that you must do. So I can't do them for you. Just make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to, and then I will work for you to make sure that you get orders and assignments and amendments and everything you need. Okay, our number one goal here is to get you off this base. I love you, but you got to go. So I want you to go and do great things.
Hey, Chief,
Yes, sir.
with that, right, getting them out and doing great things.
Yeah.
CBRNE is no longer required for MPS students.
Okay.
That was just updated in AFI. So,
Okay.
Adam is still a requirement, but CBRNE is no longer required
CBRNE
for
is
non-prior
no
service students.
Nice.
Okay.
So
you no
if
longer
that
have
is
to do
on
gas
your
masks.
orders, right, the MPF has already said, mark it NA if you're non-prior service.
No, keep
Prior
processing.
service students will still have to attend.
Yeah.
Um,
That's helpful.
For that, you'll see, and they don't communicate, so.
So, okay, if there's nothing else about orders or amendments, Jake Davis will get your cat card fixed so you can have a decent meal. And
Early release tomorrow-ish, depending on what your instructor lets you go. We will be making the rounds for about 1,300 to make sure people are getting kicked out of here. Have a good, safe 4-day weekend. Enjoy the end of summer.
so wait, would the AFRC have Air Force Readiness Center? Airman Family Readiness Center, sorry. So if I were you, I would go talk to Sergeant Oliver, Master Sergeant Oliver. She is the Guard liaison, the Guard and Reserve liaison here. She might be better equipped with information to help you. Sweet, got my orders amended today. First one shows October 14th. Okay, Bankhead, yes. I'll get you a better answer. Will Bankhead. Okay. So you want October 14th, it says September 30th. Got it. Okay.
Can do.
Have a great weekend, you guys. Please be safe. If you're out and about, you need to have a mask on. Like if you're in the mall, bebopping. Yes, bebopping.
Baby Bob.
They bebop. I bebop. I don't know. So yeah.
There's them all here.
That's
Even better question. Yes, if you're out and about, you need to have a mask on. So
Yeah.
Don't forget it. Have a good weekend. Be good. Don't jack it up.
They don't like it.